I'm like, I don't know. Let's go investigate. And so we go to investigate. She has pushed Madeline so hard, there is a huge gaping hole in the wall. So I had to learn how. I had to learn the measurements of drywall. I had to learn about drywall. I had to get this, what is it called? A jab saw. I had to get joint composite. I had to get, what's that tape? Fiber tape. Don't tell her I told you her business now, because, people don't like the business all out there. But she did. She did. She did. She pushed Madeline so hard to whereas it was just one of those moments where I had to like, Madeline, are you okay? Like, what in the world? It was, and so I had to fix the hole in the wall. And I was like, okay, I'll just, and of course, because in my mind I'm thinking, well, I just replaced the heating element with the heating element wire. So I was thinking to myself, I'm like, okay, well, I might be good, I might be straight, but if you the type of person that use your dryer every day, several times a day, of course, that's just um, you know. So look, I know, I know, I know. Just give me a second. I'm trying to. I know this dude is not sitting here talking about those are his kids. I know that he is not talking about those are his kids. This must be Cap. Yeah, I don't know if I'm gonna believe that. The dude who was dating the Erica girl, child. Um, I guess they're trying to make it seem like those aren't Charlie Kirk's kids; those are his kids. Donald Trump is losing it. What happened? What happened?
To acknowledge the Midas Touch reporting, where we exposed that there were 1 million records at least that are missing from the Southern District of New York regarding the Epstein files that had not been turned over to the DOJ. It's my belief that the Southern District of New York had been trying to turn it over to the Department of Justice, but I believe the Department of Justice has been covering it up since we are aware that the DOJ and the Southern District of New York knew about these documents, these million-plus records that the Midas Touch Network identified back in 2020. So here's what Donald Trump just posted.
Go ahead.
And again, the Midas Touch Network was the first to break this story.
Okay.
A reminder to
Give
hit
them their
subscribe
props.
here. We're on our
For
way
sure.
to 1 million subscribers. You see the power of independent media. And so you can also help us out by going to our Substack, MidasPlus.com. You see the stories we're breaking while corporate news bends the knee. And while they break, here's what Donald Trump posted this moments ago. Now, 1 million more pages on Epstein are found. DOJ is being forced to spend all of its time on this Democrat-inspired hoax. When do they say no more and work on election fraud, etc.? The Dems are the ones who worked with Epstein, not the Republicans. Release all of their names, embarrass them, and get back to helping our country. The radical left doesn't want people talking about Trump and Republican success. Only a long ago dead Jeffrey Epstein, just another witch hunt. So once again,
Probably should have heard what Bill Clinton said. Since y'all wanted to plaster all his pictures and stuff up there, go listen to what Bill Clinton said. I wish you would. Go ahead and release all of them. Don't just keep playing with it. But it's just so nerve-wracking at this point. Like, it's just so nerve-wracking. I just can't believe that we're still here. We are still here talking about Jeffrey Epstein. And I don't understand why we keep getting these crumbs. Every day they keep dropping little crumbs of stuff. Ooh.
The individuals
that
who are
shirt, man.
co-conspirators, the individuals who had been hanging out with
I got that
Epstein
shirt
as
for
though they
Christmas.
are the victims while engaging in this heinous conduct against the victims. As we posted here on the Midas Touch Network,
What did y'all say?
this move is deeply offensive to Epstein's victims and treats a serious criminal investigation as a political prop, underscoring how Trump continues to mock the justice system while panicking over revelations tied to his own dark past. And Donald Trump was once a Democrat. When Donald Trump was friends with Epstein, Trump was a Democrat. And I don't care what your political party was or your affiliation is, you deserve to be exposed and held accountable for engaging in this conduct and behavior. Now, as you know, it was several days back when the Midas Touch Network reported on the missing 1 million emails. Here's what I wrote, and Trump's now got to respond to it, and he's panicking, he's losing it. I wrote, this email from Epstein SDNY, Southern District of New York prosecutors, in 2020 suggests that there are approximately 1.2 million records being imaged in just one hard drive. I wrote there are likely other hard drives as well. I would not be surprised if there are actually tens of millions of records. You see this email Friday, October 30th, 2020. The subject is phone call follow-up. It's from prosecutors to contractors in the Southern District of New York who are likely working on document production and document review. And it says, good afternoon, following up on our earlier phone conversation. A hard drive with the following production is being sent to SDNY via FedEx with the following production in the U.S. versus Epstein workspace. Then it lists 1 through 7, SDNY production 8 through SDNY production 14 with SDNY production 11 having 6 sub-parts. 6-part production in SDNY 11. Then the drafter of this email goes, there are approximately 1.2 million records currently being imaged. The images will be available on Monday, November 2nd, 2020 at the earliest. The production of the records will begin as soon as the images are available in the workspace. The workspace is the electronic discovery tools that are being used to review these millions of records. So in fact, it's very easy to access these records. Why? Because they're already uploaded on a workspace. So all it would be doing is accessing the software where these files are uploaded, which SDNY certainly has, and then moving them to whatever document software is being used here to make this production. And of course, the DOJ was aware about it. They had access to this email. They produced this email. So they could have reached out to SDNY. And also, didn't Pam Bondi say that all the files were on her desk as of February of 2025? Remember that? And remember when they said there were no co-conspirators, but now we know there were at least 10 co-conspirators who the DOJ we're thinking about
Failed
charging
to, right.
Democratic ranking member on the House Oversight
Who?
Committee, Robert Garcia.
Okay.
And again, they're leading the investigation here
Okay.
into the Epstein files.
Uh-huh.
They credited the Midas touch
Oh.
for making this discovery,
Shout out to
which
y'all.
Donald Trump is now freaking out about.
Ooh.
Garcia wrote, Congressmember Garcia wrote, new media organizations like Midas Touch are now critical to holding the administration accountable. Their reporting is making an impact. Now, Donald Trump's post moments ago about
what did he say? Oh, he already read that.
million Epstein files that are missing or that have now been discovered, which were always there to begin with, and the Trump regime was covering up, also responds to Trump's Christmas message, where he goes, Merry Christmas to all, including the many sleazebags who loved Jeffrey Epstein, gave him bundles of money, went to his island, attended his parties, and thought he was the greatest guy on earth, only to drop him like a dog when things got too hot. Falsely claimed they had nothing to do with him, didn't know him, said he was a disgusting person, and then blame, of course, Donald J. Trump, who was actually the only one who did drop Epstein and long.
So obviously, he ain't right this if you using your own name.
Fashionable to do so when their names get brought out in the ongoing
radical left
witch hunt. Plus low-life Republican Massey, and it is reveled that they are Democrats.
Massey. Give him a shout out.
More explaining to do, much like there was when made public that Russia hoax was actually a fictitious story and a scam. Oh, got it. So you're saying Russia was a hoax.
Please don't get
2020 election was a hoax. COVID, you're saying, was a hoax. And this, you're saying this is a hoax like that? No, I see what your definition of a hoax is.
Off of that one, child.
Thomas Massey, the Republican
Matter of fact, let me
congressman.
see how you look. I know you look probably just like that son with them glasses off, honey. He's so silly. That dog gonna be funny. Look.
It's a hoax.
Look at Ben. Charlie look just like, hold on, my bad. I ain't ready. We ain't got it together yet. Now we ain't got it together yet. Goodness gracious. Look at Ben. Don't he look just like his son, honey?
Like that? No,
Look,
I see what your definition of a hoax is.
I'm glad he wiped them glasses off last
the
night. Ooh, that was fire.
Who put forward the discharge petition with Democratic Congressmember Ro Khanna, responded to Trump. Merry Christmas to you as well, Mr. President.
Look at Thomas. Ooh, he didn't clap the back. Merry Christmas to you too, Mr. President. So I've teamed up with radical left Democrats to expose Democrats. This 4D chess is fun.
Teamed up with radical left Democrats to expose Democrats. Wow, this 4D chess sure is fun right there. And also you have the DOJ now saying, well, the documents we did turn over includes fabricated documents and fake documents. And you can't believe the documents we turned over. They are clear fakes. They go like the Epstein letter to Larry Nassar. They say that's a fake. So you're turning over fake fabricated evidence. You're hiding a million other records. Donald Trump's out there saying that his goal is to shame and embarrass Democrats. I don't think they could handle this worse if they even tried. But you remember what Donald Trump said earlier in the week? He says, they keep asking me about Epstein. I thought this was finished. Here, play this clip.
Like, for instance, today we're building the biggest ships in the world, most powerful ships in the world, and they're asking me questions about Jeffrey Epstein.
We're going to keep asking you about it until the end of your presidency this term, sir. How about that?
Struggling with upper neck pain?
How about that? We're going to keep asking you about it, too. Y'all better keep that pressure on his neck. Have him stressed out, Lord. Feet be swollen, hand be swollen. I don't know what's going on with that hand, y'all. He keep it... he keep it covered up. I say, well, tell us what happened.
I believe they gave over 100,000 pages of documents.
Or previously, when you had MAGA Mike Johnson say, Epstein. All they do is talk about Epstein. Here, play this clip right here.
Clearly what they've been trying to do. They're trying to attack President Trump. This is what they've done. They weaponized the justice system over the last several years.
Yeah, exactly. Don't, I know you ain't fix your lips just to say who weaponized the Justice Department. Y'all, what?
After him, and this is their latest attempt. And
MAGA, Mike, if you don't sit down somewhere with that
platform or principle to defend on the Democrat Party side, So they put all their eggs in this basket. And that's why you hear endlessly about Epstein, Epstein, Epstein. Everything's about
yes, every day, all day, nonstop, constantly. And we're going to thug it out to the end of the presidency. We're going to stress him out about that Jeffrey Epstein. You know why? Because he shouldn't have never ran on it. He shouldn't have never said, yeah, sure. Well, I mean, yeah, you know, yeah. Hey, listen. It's going to be either that or bring the prices of groceries down. Don't get me started. Don't listen. Just give me a second real quick. Let me who did I take a picture of? Let me see if it's in this phone real quick. Let me go to my camera. Is this let me see who this is. Let me hold on. Let me pull them up. Let me pull them up. Okay? And hold on. Let me move out the way so I can see. No, not you. Me. Move me. Move me out the way so I can see. And where we at? We on Walmart. We at Walmart. They're the first people that popped up. But look, I took a picture today. I had went to Kroger. Technically, I just wanted to go grab some water. I ended up, a few other items. Koa is 5 months now. He'll be 6 months on the 2nd of January. We're talking about pregnancy cravings, right? I don't know what happened, but I was eating Philly steaks like it was nobody's business. Because what ended up happening was I found out that Publix sell this shaved steak, right? And so all you got to do, get you the bread. Obviously, you need the cheese. Now, the cheese, that's a different story. Because it's that white cheese that really do it. That white cheese that really do it. And Velveeta, she got this little skillet. The beef stroganoff that comes with the white cheese sauce. Now, I don't use all of it, so I have some left over. And so I had tried it with the Philly steak one time and blew my fucking mind away. Just blew me away. I was, whoa, wait a minute. What ended up happening was this is who I used to buy. JTM beef Philly cheesesteak. It come with the hoagie. It come with the little packs of meat. They separated and stuff, real sealed. I said I was gonna send them an email because let me tell you something. I went to Kroger today. I can show you. It's right here. Of course, hold on. Let me zoom in on the price. Let me get you the price first. What does that say? What? $19.49. It's four. It's only four. It's only four. I promise you, it's only 4 Philly steaks in here. 4 pieces of bread. They give you a little packet of mozzarella. I think it's mozzarella. It gotta be. It can't be nothing else other than mozzarella. Let me see. Yeah, I think it's mozzarella. It gotta be. And then they give you the little packs of onions and stuff. That's if you into onions and stuff. If you like that, you know. Real quick, real. I'm talking about simple, quick. You know, cause you season it to how you like it and stuff like that. Cheese it to how you like it. They got the bread toasted and stuff like that. You can butter it and stuff. If you got some of that garlic butter left over from Little Caesars, you know, you can put that in there and then toast it on both sides, and you know what I mean. You can spruce it up. Walmart, as you can see, look on the screen. What does Walmart have it at? 1666. That literally just went up because I just bought one at the beginning of this month. At the store, it was like $15.99. And I had to like buy it because when I went to Publix didn't have the steak anymore. And so I'm like, I'm like, oh God. Oh goodness. I ain't had no Philly steak since early this month. And I was in Kroger today. I had to take a picture. It blew my fucking mind away. I was like, 1949. I said, I'm gonna send them an email. They're gonna get an email from me. Because ain't no way. Ain't going back, because he said that he was supposed to be, what was he supposed to be doing? Food, sir, food. You're supposed to be dropping the prices of food. You haven't done that yet. Because I was going to email JTM and I was just going to tell them, hey man, listen, just, sell the meat by itself. Don't forget the bread, forget the onions, forget the cheese, because I already be having it. If I have some, I don't even need the whole, I can just use regular bread. I can use, who Nature's Own. I can use some of the ballpark hot dog buns that I have left over. Child, I could use some of them Hawaiian rolls, biscuits or something. I don't need your bread. I can take care of my own bread, and I can do my own cheese. So I'm like, can you just make your meat and just, instead of 4, maybe make it like a 10-pack or a 20-pack, you know what I mean? Like a family size. And, just sell that separately. I said I was going to email them because ain't no way. Ain't no. $20 for 4 Philly steaks. There they go right there. Let me see. But they got a website. Hold on, let me see. Let me tell you something. I'm certified with sending somebody an email. Go and ask Nabisco. Go and ask them. Because I think it was last year I had ended up sending them an email. Because I was like, okay, can we get the graham crackers on the snack aisle? Because can I get the snack? And it was earlier this year when I seen them. They got the snack version of them, because they got the big long. I'm like, keep up with society. Everything is snack version, and so I'm like, can y'all get the grams on the snack? Hold on, let me see what's going on. Let me see. Oh, contact. Let me see what she need. Division of interest. Let me see what she need. I know. Listen, that was today. I had already told myself that I was going to send them an email because $20 was ridiculous. I was just making sure they ain't need no picture or nothing like that. Okay. Hold on. Let me see what's going on. Cause I can shoot this real quick. I don't worry about it. Where? Let me get back to him. Matter of fact, let me get you on your separate. Get you on your own. get out of there so he can play by himself.
But you
Go.
remember that at the Midas Touch
I can do
Network,
this
we
separately.
interviewed
Hold on,
Democratic
let me make sure
Congressmember
you
Ro Khanna, who
are
is
you
leading the
on the right
charge in
screen?
the
Okay, I was making
with
sure.
the discharge petition, and he's on the oversight committee. He's been there with Massey leading the discharge petition. And so what he told me is that there are a lot of potential whistleblowers out
Ooh.
there as well. FBI whistleblowers, DOJ whistleblowers.
Ooh.
Here's what he told me. Let's play this clip right here. I don't know if you can share this, but any FBI whistleblowers or DOJ whistleblowers who may be on the horizon, who's upset about the way this was handled, who may have been.
We've had some approaching our office and the committee. I obviously can't get into.
Okay, you should have wiped that camera off or something. All you need to do is just get you a little rag. Speaking of, did I wipe mine off? Let me see if I wiped mine off. Ooh, I didn't wipe those cameras off. Let me see. Is mine? That's the best I can do. I'm trying to get it together over here. Go ahead.
Into the details, but there are people who are upset about the non-compliance with the law, and they don't want to be held accountable, right? Anyone who is at the Justice Department who's involved with this, who's not complying, could be prosecuted for obstruction of justice. Now, Pam Bondi's not going to prosecute them, and Donald Trump isn't going to have an attorney general who prosecutes them. But, you know, in 2029, we're going to have a Democratic president, and that Democratic president's going to have an attorney general, and that attorney general is going to prosecute the law, not out of vindictiveness, out of just saying that you can't commit crimes and get away with it. By the way, I think that should apply to crimes not just in violating the Epstein Transparency Act. I think it should apply to crimes with ICE, crimes in terms of the strikes in the Caribbean. We need accountability before reconciliation. So if you're at the Justice Department and you know that you're violating the law, you probably don't want obstruction of justice charges brought against you, and that's why I think more and more people are speaking up.
There you have it, folks. Let me know what you think.
Look at Ben.
Hit subscribe. Let's get to 6 million. We appreciate you. Thanks for watching.
Love this video? Support independent media and unlock exclusive content, ad-free videos.
All right. Hey. We get it. I did hit your thumbs up. Okay.
Once I speak.
Shh. Stop. Okay, hold on. Let me go back to my history because I do need to go back and finish. I didn't finish watching that video last night. Get out of there. Okay, let me see. I did wanna go and see what happened. Cause he had sat down, child. 607 had sat down with Blueface, and I don't know why King Yella was there. It was just a lot. I heard he got up and walked away. I wanted to go and see what had happened. You know, I'm messy. Look, you know I'm messy, child. Let me let him finish.
I mean, yes.
From last night.
What happens to purpose
It's ironic.
and meaning if we're being... Because for anybody that doesn't know what universal basic income is, the idea is the government, the state, whatever, would pay you a certain amount of money every single
Minimum
month.
salary.
So you $2,000, $3,000, whatever it might
Whatever
be.
it is.
Because they don't think many of us are going to have... There's not going to be enough jobs to go around. And I wonder what happens to purpose and meaning and pursuit and challenge and all these things in a world where we're just being handed money.
So we're not being given wealth. There's a difference. We're being given survival money, right? And so, you know, we have to be very careful that says, everybody who's on welfare is lazy. That's not true.
That's not
true. So we have to be very careful that just because we give somebody something doesn't mean that they cease to have ambition or purpose or drive.
Right.
It's like somebody who makes a commission salary, works on commission, and they make just enough to pay their rent and buy food, and that's it.
Right.
Like that's a lack of ambition. The cases, at least the people I've heard talk about it, they make a compelling case for it, especially in a world where there is plenty of wealth. But I don't know enough about it to make an argument for or against it, if I'm honest. But I do find it ironic that the Sam Altmans of the world are calling for it, given the fact that there's going to be so many job losses when it's jobs of their kind. And I also think that's funny.
Sam was in
what's going to
support
happen?
of a universal pay rate. I didn't know that. That's interesting. I mean,
When Sam Altman's product,
sit back. Look, sit back. Why you sitting like that? I'm trying to move me out the way. Sir, sit back. He is.
good enough that he
Let me
can
see
lay
how
off
long it's
most
gonna
of his
take for him to
staff.
sit back.
Just curious.
I missed it. Let me start talking. Go back.
Altman's product gets good enough that he can lay off most of his staff.
Ooh. Ooh, interesting.
Just curious what happens.
He has made a point of having, I think it's 100 people or less in his company.
That's still a lot.
He doesn't have like a big team. And I think part of that is because when I heard his TED talk a couple of days ago, he's saying, yeah, I think AGI is sooner than we think actually. And I think we're going to have a fast takeoff, which means it's going to arrive very quickly and accelerate very quickly. So I think he's actually preparing not to.
Yeah, but what happens to the 90 people he lays off
Exactly.
when he doesn't need 100, he only needs 10?
Exactly.
This is the question.
I'm just curious.
Yeah,
I
no,
don't
this
know.
is the
And this is
question.
why anybody who has an
Oh,
opinion
look at
about it,
that
the
table.
answer is we
Okay,
don't know.
chairs look
But I think
nice. Oh my
people
goodness.
react
Wait,
very differently when-
Hold on, let me see what's going on with this backdrop, this setup. Let me analyze. Let me see what's going on. Is that a window? Is that a window? Let me see. What is that? Don't it look like a window, but then it got a frame around it like it could be? I don't know what that is back there, but we got a nice little table. Okay. I like the gray aesthetics. Okay. Carpet look very... We should have a rug. There should be a rug underneath the table and the chairs. The chairs look nice. I like the fact that they have like that support and they ain't slouched back. I like that silver. Okay. I like that table. Cup. We got some books and stuff on the table. He keep that little Apple Pen with his iPad and stuff. All black. He looks very engaged. High top. Okay, chandelier, low lighting and stuff like that. I ain't never really seen the let me give it. Let me let him finish, child.
But I think people react very differently when it's their job on the line,
Sure, for sure.
when it's
Of
their
course.
income on the line,
Of
when it's
course.
their pride, when it's their ego.
Right.
You know,
For sure.
I keep hearing from companies. I mean, we were talking about this before we turned on the cameras. You know, you talk to, if you want a new website, I guarantee you, I don't care which company you talk to, they will all talk about how they're AI this, AI that, and you ask the question, are you using AI? Yes, we're using AI. We're doing it differently. We're the future. Blah blah blah. And then you ask them for a proposal. It's going to look like all the other proposals from 2015. You know. And this is how many hours it's going to take our people to program this and code this. And I was like, what happened to all the AI? Why is this slow and expensive when everything's supposed to be fast and inexpensive?
Because they're taking the margin.
Of course they're taking the margin. And they've got a lot of people doing things the old-fashioned way because the business model, people work very hard to predict. The status quo exists because there are people who benefit from the status quo. That's why there is a status quo. And it's... And like I said, everybody's into change, the future, until it's them that's threatened, or their income.
The billionaires that I know, the one consistent thing they've whispered to me about AI is that people are going to have a lot of free time. That's one of the things that's been really consistent. You're so right when you say that. When I asked you about the future of AI, you said, I don't know. The reason why I know that's probably the correct answer generally is because when I sat with the most advanced people in AI, whether it's Mustafa, who's head of Microsoft AI, now CEO of Microsoft AI, or people from Google, or the CEO of Google, or Reid Hoffman, who's the founder of LinkedIn, they all had different opinions, which made me to think actually the right answer is nobody knows.
The right answer is nobody. That is correct. And you always be aware of the messenger, right? Like you won't have anybody who owns an AI company talking doomsday scenarios. It's not in their economic interest, even if they secretly harbor that. It's like people who, used to run cigarette companies didn't smoke and they didn't let their family smoke.
Facts.
It's like, I remember visiting Facebook in the earlier days, and I went into the cafeteria and they had like picnic benches. And I was like, and they were telling me with pride how they have these communal eating areas to help people maintain relationship. And I was like, this is hilarious. You literally have a product that breaks relationships, and yet you understand enough to make people eat together at lunchtime so that they'll maintain relationship. I mean,
Facebook be breaking relationships? I mean, allegedly, that's what he said. I'm like, I didn't know that. Y'all ain't over there. So I don't know that. I'm trying to multitask and send this
the
email.
point being, if your economic interest, show me how someone's paid and I'll show you how they behave.
One of the scariest conversations I was privy to was a friend of mine who's a billionaire in London. He knows the CEO of one of the biggest AI companies in the world, who I can't name. And he said, by the way, what he tells me in private is not what he's saying publicly.
Yeah.
He said to me
Yeah.
that what this particular CEO thinks is going to happen with AI is pretty horrific. And the CEO of this big AI company is totally cool with it. It's horrific what he thinks is about to happen. And then when I watch this guy do his like online talks and give his opinion, he's so nuanced and everything will be fine and he's an AI optimist. Then I heard this scenario at this kitchen table in East London from his friend about what he really thinks, and it was chilling.
Yeah.
Like, actually, the lack of empathy.
Yeah. That makes
And
sense to me.
The like,
So you was here last night, huh? I'll be trying. I do give myself days off, for sure. Typically Mondays. But, we have to alternate. But thank you for spinning a block on me. You didn't speak last night. But I appreciate you having the balls to speak today. No, I'm just
the obsession with power was shocking to me.
Yeah. The obsession with power and money and all the rest of it. Yeah.
Thanks for stopping
But this is
by
because
again.
the internet has done something really strange and challenged one of my theories head on, right? So I talk about in an infinite game, Jim Carse, his theory, in an infinite game, there's no winners or losers, right? And so like nobody wins, fast food. Nobody wins cars. Like General Motors, Ford, Vauxhall, they can all exist at the same time, right?
Okay,
And they'll have degrees of success or not success,
sure.
but they can all exist simultaneously. Nobody's going to win.
Don't forget Subaru,
The exception is in
Volkswagen,
the internet.
Audi,
In
Mercedes,
like Amazon,
Cadillac.
it won. Like,
Oh,
Google for search,
ooh,
yep, they won,
ooh,
right?
definitely.
And if you start going down like the big tech companies,
Yeah,
there is only one. I mean,
Ooh.
sure, there's competition, but not really, right?
ooh,
Walmart is making a run of it to threaten Amazon, but
ooh,
Amazon's still so damn big.
yeah.
All of these companies, there's only one.
Ooh,
And that's not good.
wait. Is he gonna wait? Hold on. Let me see. I'm trying to make sure it don't go over my head. Who's the number one tech company? Let me ask. Diary of a CEO. The number one tech. Apple. Nvidia. Okay, well, Nvidia is the chip. Apple. Is he gonna tell us? Let me go back and see if he's gonna tell us. It's I'm on YouTube for sure. Diary of a hold on, let me see. Stop opening all these tabs. Diary of a CEO with Simon Sinek. Sinek is one of them. Okay, is he gonna tell us who he think is the number one? I got Apple coming up. This is the clip. I should have. Oh, well, technically, I'm on the Diary of a CEO clips. I guess that's a different page, which I think is a great idea. I tried to tell Vlad that. Like, your clips, like how he do his clips, they should be on a separate Vlad TV YouTube channel, and then the regular interviews should be on a separate, like the regular Vlad. I tried to tell him that like last year or something like that. Because then he could have another channel with just the Vlad shorts. You gotta get over there on them shorts. But I'm like, how he chop his videos up? That's supposed to be on his own separate YouTube channel. But him, yeah.
That you can't have winners in a category. And so this is why I think the race for AI is so aggressive, for AI dominance is so aggressive, and which is why people are not being careful, and which is why they're not putting controls, is because the way that tech seems to work is there probably will be one dominant standard, and then that's it. The question is which one, because I don't.
Right, exactly. Because I'm like, who's dominating right now? I believe it's Chat GPT. You can't rush through it, y'all, or you'll stumble over all them Chat GPT. Okay. But then you have like Google. You have like Grok. He's over there. What does Facebook have a does Facebook have an AI? Let me see. Cause I don't know. Oh, that was you trying to get my attention? Oh, Meta AI. Wow. I didn't know. I ain't over there. Oh my goodness.
That just seems to be the way it is, which is a very scary prospect to me. That the fact that we can have winners is a bad thing, especially if we pride ourselves on being capitalists. Then there cannot be a winner, and there cannot be one that is so dominant that nobody else can even compete except for scraps.
What are your emotions when you think about AI and what's happening? Because I feel like the moment we're living in is a profound one, and that we don't actually realize it. Because when these tools come out, OpenAI released yesterday 3.0, it's the best model ever. The day after, my life was the same. So we don't really notice it because we go back to work, our clients ask for the same thing, we have the same team members sat around us. It almost seems like the sand timer is rotated and we're on a clock. And it's a slow disruption of our everyday lives. Sam Altman the other day on his TED Talk 3-4 days ago said, in the short term, everything will appear the same. But in the long term, he goes, life is going to be completely different.
Yeah, I think that's right. I mean, and look at any technology like.
Dang. You nosy, ain't you? So are we not going to have cashiers at the store anymore? I mean, look, I'm like, they're trying to
Like
make it seem
AI.
like, oh.
It was kind of the same until it wasn't. And these are evolutions, not revolutions. Like there's a revolutionary bit, Like I remember when the internet showed up, and like brick and internet shopping showed up,
Right.
and all the technologists were like, it's the end of stores, it's the end of bricks and mortar, like they're done, like we'll never go to a shop again. Well, that didn't happen.
Thanks.
Now, shops struggle to compete against internet, but that's a price thing.
Right.
Right, that's a business model thing. But we like going shopping because again, all of these companies always forget, especially technologists, they all forget that the end user is a human being, and most of us don't fully understand everything. Even our iPhones, most people use a small percentage of all the capabilities of our iPhone.
Please don't remind me, Lord, because but 2, 3 o'clock in the morning, you can't go to sleep and you go over there in them settings and you be just scrolling. Oh, let me see what this is, and oh, let me see what that is, and especially that camera. Oh my goodness, video features. Ooh. Thanks.
Most of us don't even know how to change the damn settings to make it do something we want, right? Neither do your kids. It's not an adult thing,
Right.
right? It's not an old
It's
person
just
thing.
it's a phone.
Like,
It's too
And there's a few
advanced.
people who get more out of it, and
Right.
good for them.
Facts.
Some people use it just as a phone, fine. And it's a bell curve. So I think there will be a few people, a few companies that will get more value out of these things than the rest of us.
Of
But I
course.
think he's right. I think there'll be a revolutionary bit, and then it'll settle. I find this
I
whole
like
thing
this
fascinating. When you
jacket.
ask me how do I feel, depending on what subject I'm
It's a nice little jacket. Have y'all? Can we peep the jacket? Can we peep the jacket, please? It's the subtle buttons for me. Goodness, great with that navy blue. And them Harry Potter glasses. He is too cool for me.
about absolute fear and absolute amazement. I have both and everything in between. When I think about how it affects democracy and the ability to make deep fakes and how it can manipulate people and their opinions to vote one way or another, I have real fear. Right? When it comes to like productivity and the reshaping of business, technologists and people who were part of the internet revolution, they love to say, 20 years ago, 80% of the jobs we have now didn't exist. They love to say that, right? But when you ask them now,
Right.
they seem to think that I think it's the same, which is all those people who are going to lose those jobs in white collar jobs and knowledge workers.
Sure.
They're not going to not work. There's going to be new jobs. The IRS digitized a whole bunch of years ago,
Oh,
right?
did they?
got rid of all the accountants and they put in all the computers, right? Do you know how much money the IRS saved when it completely changed the
At
way
least
it
a
looked?
trip.
The answer
half
is
a big-
zero.
Oh,
Yes,
no?
they got rid of all the accountants. They need to hire all the IT people. So
that makes
the workforce looked different,
That makes
but it didn't get smaller.
Okay.
And so I think it's the same thing. We already know the massive, incredible amounts of energy.
I just did a video. I literally just did a YouTube short about not Georgia Power, and how the demand has become extremely high for let me find it, y'all, with AI and trying to let me see, accommodate. That's the word I was looking for. Trying to accommodate everybody, and these because listen, I'm telling you, 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning, I'll be asleep. I'll be trying to go to sleep. I can't get 50 subs. Okay, I want to go live. How did you do it? Okay, well, sub for sub. Are you subbed? I can sub. I can. Can I subscribe to you from here? Oh my goodness, how did you do it? These. My subscribers was from years ago when we could just go live with no requirements. We just could just go live. We just but if you if you use your computer, you don't need 50 subscribers. Let me just put that out there. You don't need 50 subscribers if you use your computer. It's only if you're trying to go live on your phone. Let me see. Was it on this channel or was it on the other one? I think it was on my other channel. Yeah, you don't need 50 subscribers unless you're trying to go live on your phone. Georgia Power says it needs a huge increase in power capacity to meet data center demand. I did a YouTube short about it. When was this? I don't know. I don't have the date on here. Oh, December 5th. Earlier this month. Because they was talking about how Georgia Power, Who did that? Associated Press wrote that article by Jeff Amy. See what I mean? They was talking about that. Georgia Power, they were like, y'all gonna need to, what did they say? Hold on, mute, because I'll be coming in talking on this YouTube short. With data centers flooding into Georgia, utility regulators face a big decision. Here it is. Should they let Georgia Power Company spend more than $15 billion to increase its electricity capacity by 50% over the next 6 years to serve computer complexes? Or could the utility overbuild and stick other ratepayers with the bill? Don't stick me with it. I don't have nothing to do with that. Don't try to put anything extra on my Georgia Power bill, because that's how they'll do. This is for this, and rates went up, and I'm like, y'all already high. You already got to make sure that you unplug this. You see, I was just over there giving my chargers a break. I'm like, you can't be leaving chargers plugged up all day. You can't be leaving microwaves plugged up all day. TVs plugged up all day. Technically, I don't have a TV, but I'm saying for people who do, you can't just be leaving stuff plugged up all day. But you know what's so crazy? Georgia Power actually says that. They send out an email every year and be like, hey, if you want to lower, the cost on your Georgia Power bill, learn how to unplug stuff when you ain't using it. So that way it's just not, I'm like, you're right. That's a good idea. And so here they go. The data centers, we know it. We knew it. It comes with the territory. You see how Elon was able to operate Grok? Child, where did he have to go? Child, he was down there. What was it? Michigan, Minnesota? It's somebody with an M. And they was trying to Memphis. I know, child, I was close. I was getting there. I was getting there. He went down there to Memphis, and he was trying to. The people down there, we don't need all this. What was those chemicals that he was polluting in the air, down there, messing up everybody asthma, bronchitis, and all that. I'm like, what in the world? And if you asked him a couple of months ago, he was like, oh, it's going to take us 2, maybe 3 years. Child, he got that thing up 6 months, honey. I'm like, what? Outrage. It was a total outrage over there in Memphis about Elon coming over there with that data center. Let me finish, guys. I am rambling. Cut it up.
Data centers that use up massive amounts of electricity like we've never seen in our lives.
Never seen in our lives. And here go Georgia Power. All that flickering that they was doing this past summer because it was hot. People gonna be using obviously a little bit more data than usual because they at home, kids at home, the AC running all day. Man, them doggone lights went out 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. All the fans went off. Oh, I was like, oh. I just went straight to my phone. Shoot Georgia Power a text. Out. Cause I'm like, we out. I don't know what's going on, but I'm like, we out. And it's getting hot. Hurry up. Child, them lights was off for about an hour. Oh my goodness. So I'm like, but that's why Georgia Power was saying that they trying to increase their capacity of what would they say? At least over 50%.
Nuclear has to be a thing. There isn't enough coal or oil or solar or wind
It
to
ain't.
power these things.
It ain't.
It just doesn't exist.
It don't.
So nuclear has to be a thing. So go be a nuclear engineer.
Uh-oh.
Go. You want to get an advanced degree? I don't need you to be a coder.
Okay.
You know, coding was a thing for.
Right.
Go be a nuke. Because by the way, you got to be
Ooh.
just as smart to be a nuke as you have to be a. So you're going to start.
I'm trying to see if I can hear Coco cry. Hold on. Let me go see if this dude. Hold on. Cut the camera off because I don't need no incidents. What is it? That one. Let me. Is he? I thought I heard something. Look, I'm like, I thought I heard something, but I didn't. Okay, my bad. I'm sorry. Clock it. Okay, how did you do? Oh, okay. I think that was my bad. I try to find something to do, like to keep my concentrations because people will come in, people will say something, people will come in and they won't say nothing. But that's why I have the subscriber mode on because then you'll get randoms saying random stuff. And so I think the clock it was, if you go on your desktop, you'll be able to go live without needing 50 subscribers. And so that's what I just learned that. I kept thinking that I needed to get 1,000 subscribers. I have no idea. How are you supposed to get 1,000 subscribers? I have no idea. But like I said, my subscribers was from when I didn't even know what subscribers was. When they you tried to go live and it was like, oh, you need 1,000. I was like, what is that? I had no idea. I had no idea. Like, we just used to go live. But let me let him finish, John.
You're going to see energy work.
Yeah.
I just think the jobs will change.
Oh, okay.
I don't think they're gonna I completely. One thing I do disagree with, it's just not like you're gonna be a bunch of people walking around bored. I just think the jobs will change.
A 10-year-old kid stood here now, and the 10-year-old said, guys, what do you think I should focus on?
I would say two things. One is going back to human skills. Learn how to be a good friend to your friends.
Okay, how do I learn that?
You're going to really need that. How does a 10-year-old learn that, or how do you and I learn that?
Oh,
Both.
A 10-year-old learns it, that when they go and have a play date at a friend's house, a smart parent takes away all the phones. But I would hate that the 10-year-old has a phone in the first place, but if they do, take away all the phones and make the kids go play. That when they have a fight, the parents make them say sorry.
conflict resolution.
Go over to your friend's house and knock on the door, and you're going to say sorry for the thing that you did.
You and I.
We're going to teach kids how to resolve conflict. We're going to teach kids how to pay compliments. We're going to teach kids how to take accountability. And these are all the skills of, well, what did you do wrong versus like, it's not like,
Sit back.
it's not always the school or the teacher. Maybe your kid is disruptive,
Yeah, facts.
And so accountability is a real thing.
Okay.
And so I think if we teach those things to 10-year-olds and to adults, I think it makes for a better society. And the other thing is go learn a real skill. And I don't
learn a
mean like
real skill.
that, prompting isn't a real skill. That's not what I mean. It's what I said before, which is it's the excruciating, like what makes great relationships great is not that you get along all the time. The best marriages, the best relationships, they're not absent of conflict. It's they know how to resolve conflict peacefully. By the way, I believe in world peace. I don't believe in a world without conflict. I believe a world in which we can resolve our conflict peacefully without the need to go to war to resolve conflict. This is why I like democracies, because democracies can solve conflict without bullets. So the human skills one, but I say a real skill mean like go do something difficult, build something, design something, imagine something, write something, and by the way, I'm totally fine even if you plug it into ChatGPT and say, tell me what's wrong with this. Your grammar's all screwed up, you know? And like I said, I am smarter because I did it. The reason I'm more confident than when I was younger. And I think that's one of the things people talk about, you get wise with age, you know, and you have more confidence as you get older.
Sure.
And yes, that's all true. And there's multiple reasons for it.
Okay.
But I think one of the reasons is the things that are happening to me now, I've gone through those things before. They were scary and kept me up at night the first time. And now I know how to do it. I'm not afraid of it anymore. And so
Okay.
I think what happens as you gain
Fear.
experience is you lose fear. And if ChatGPT or whatever AI product we use does everything for us, I think you just end up scared.
If you love the driver's
Ooh, the clip. I got to go back and watch the entire interview of that one. That one was nice. Let me subscribe. Let me stop playing and subscribe. Let me stop playing. Hit the thumbs up and hit the thumbs up before I forget. Okay. All right. Okay. That was nice. I did. See, I was so tired last night. I was like, ooh, I ain't gonna make it. And then I was trying to watch it in the bed. I just couldn't. As soon as I laid down, I was just like, ooh, I'm done. So 547,000 views just off of that clip. Impressive. Let me see, because once you get on his algorithm, child, listen, he got all of them. Okay. Let me just scroll down. Who did I just say I was trying to go and watch? Oh yeah. Look, go back, rewind, cause I had saw the front part. Hold on. Let me show you where we at. Pause. Not the pump. Scoot over. 607. Not the pump. Move out the way and let me see what's going on. What happened? What did you say to him that made him get up and Rick
Well, ain't
Ross
no other
you?
interview. Let's see you. But you can ask my question, right?
Okay. Look at Jonathan.
Okay, I'm asking my questions though. Nigga. Let me do me.
I
He go
called
with his
to
N-word.
keep him out of jail, to get him out of jail. Then Wack tried to say it. The other trying to explore. Why you beat up a daddy?
Who hit me?
Who daddy? Was that Krishan daddy?
Put your hands on me, brother. I beat ass.
But that's her daddy.
I'm her daddy now.
What y'all over there?
Look at these transitions, Lord.
Oh, screw your crib.
No.
My bad.
He just got up and walked out, y'all. He just got up and walked out. Dang. And they premiered yesterday as a Christmas tree. I'm just curious. I don't be doing too much cussing, all them N words and stuff like that. Just we get the gist. He walked out. We get the gist. He walked out. I did say I wanted to go and see what happened. 607. It's so funny. They just not letting Erica Kirk sleep. Okay, so 60 Minutes, they had a
Impact there. And
Shh, stop telling all my business. That I had watched, I had started watching that job. I had fell asleep before I got to, I want to say maybe 5 minutes. 60 Minutes did it, documentary on AI. What is it called? Let me, cause everybody just keep playing. Every time you try to. What is Funny Marco doing at Walmart? This one right here. I had started watching it. I had fell asleep. Let me see what Funny Marco doing at Walmart.
The beach?
Look. Get back to your roots. He ain't been over there in the
$200. 6 7.
That's the branch. He's so silly. Oh my goodness. Look. Oh my God.
Why do you want to pay for?
Why do I want to? I really don't.
Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh, we get a voice note. Oh my God. Hi, Madeline. How are you? What are you doing, girl? Look, 11 o'clock. Her texting me. Hi, mommy. Look. Oh my God. It's Madeline. She got her some Wi-Fi, honey. She got her some Wi-Fi. Oh my God. Oh my goodness. And y'all caught me live. Being extra with Madeline. She got her iPad with her. And this is her first time texting me. I'm like, I guess she got some Wi-Fi. Look, 11 o'clock. Let me see what she got going on. Let's see what she up to. Let me see what's going on. Here's the video that I wanted to watch. How long is it in this history? I feel like it was another one. What was the name of it though? How long have I been on here? Oh, an hour. Okay. Okay, that one. No. I won't be long. I just wanted to come in and chill for Friday. What is Madeline typing? Goodness gracious. Let me go to my history real quick and see. Let me see what she said.
Watching TV, I just want to see what you're doing because I haven't seen you. Let me see what you doing. So I just wanted to see what was you doing. Oh, Merry Christmas. Sorry, I didn't get to text you. I didn't have time to answer the Wi-Fi on my iPad. It wasn't working, but now today it is working. So I'm just
Well, that's okay. I'm glad that you reached out and at least got you some Wi-Fi and said hello. Merry Christmas to you as well. Of course, Seth is asleep, and of course, he's been asking about you guys every day, all day. So I'll make sure that I tell him that I spoke to you when he wake up in the morning and stuff like that. But I'm glad that you was able to get you some Wi-Fi. What is Madison doing? I'm surprised that she's not up. I'm surprised she ain't messaged me and told me hello. But anyway, tell her I said hi, Madison. I'll go back and find this video that I was looking for. Not this one. Hold on, give me a second. Let me. I am looking for a video. It's in my history. Is it? Okay, hold on, go back to my history. Let me see if it's in there. Ooh. Let me see. I think it's in. Yeah. Give me that. Oh, wait, hold on. Pause.
Did you know that there-
Hush, ma'am. Playing. Yeah, that's what I needed to see. I just needed to see that real quick. Go back. Skip. Pause. Hold on. My phone just texted me. Give me a second.
Yeah, Master sleep. I'm gonna try to call y'all in the morning.
Oh.
Like 11 o'clock on track. But Merry Christmas.
Okay, that's fine. Just call us, and then, if I don't answer, I'll just probably try to call you back if we're not up, whatever time you try to call. But he would love to see you guys and say hey. But since she's asleep, yeah, just tell her I said hey. And I'll see you guys whenever I see you guys. I'm glad that you all have fun. Okay, bye. Love you. Mwah. Look, hugs, hearts, Valerina. See you in the morning. Mwah. I hear him now. Look, I'm like, I definitely hear him now. He's so loud. Let me unplug my charger and give it a break. I'm finna bring him up here. I'm finna go and bring him up here. Because I ain't gonna be able to get situated. Hold on. Pause. Hold on. Let me put the camera off. He is so loud. He gonna wake everybody up. I know how to just do that real quick. Or matter of fact, here, just go here and cut me off. Just give me a second. Let me see what he doing before he try to wake Seth up. I don't know what he was doing. He was switching positions or something. Because I went back there and he was asleep. I'm like, sir, I thought you called me. Sir, I thought you called me. I know I heard him. Hold on, let me show you what we watching. Is it on mute? Okay. I thought we was gonna get the thumbnail. I was trying to get the thumbnail. I guess not. Okay, get off of it then. When the thumbnail come up, oh, what did she say?
Good night, Barbie. Bye. Love you.
Right.
There's a specific kind of silence that comes after years of noise. Not the silence of an empty room, the silence of a phone you stopped checking, of group chats you left on read, of birthdays that pass without a single text, and you realize you don't miss hearing from anyone at all. You didn't plan this. You didn't wake up one morning and decide to burn every bridge. It happened slowly, one unanswered text at a time, one declined invitation after another, until eventually you stopped pretending, stopped explaining, stopped showing up for people who never showed up for you. Maybe you recognize this. Maybe you are this, the cold one, the one who changed, the one who cut everyone off, the one people whisper about at gatherings you're no longer invited to. But here's what they don't see. You were already alone long before you left.
Okay, so let me.
Commercial break. This, give me a second. Let me, go back to the scene so I can get you. My goodness. Okay, we good. That was me. I had to figure out where it was at. This is from the YouTube channel Zen, Zenn. The title of this video is The Psychology of People Who Cut Everyone Off. Child, she was on my algorithm.
The psychology of people who cut everyone off. You look at your phone and realize you haven't texted anyone in months. No birthday plans, no weekend plans. Just you, your routine, and this strange sense of relief you didn't expect to feel. When someone asks if you want to hang out, I'm busy used to be an excuse. Now it's a boundary. The difference is you're not apologizing anymore. This didn't happen overnight. You didn't wake up heartless. You woke up after years. Years of being the friend who always showed up, who drove hours for someone's crisis, who remembered birthdays and asked how people were doing and actually listened to the answer. You were the reliable one, the one people called when they needed something, then you needed something. You had your own crisis, your own breaking point, your own 3 a.m. moment when you couldn't hold it together anymore. You reached out. You asked for help. Silence. Maybe one person sent a "sorry to hear that" text. Maybe someone said they'd call and never did. Maybe they were all just really busy right now. It wasn't that no one came. It's that you realized in that moment how alone you'd always been. You thought someone else was showing up for you. You were wrong. That's when the equation changed. Every interaction became a cost-benefit analysis you didn't want to run but couldn't stop running. How much energy does this take? What am I actually getting back? The math stopped making sense. You were pouring from an empty cup into cups that were never empty to begin with. They just wanted more. So you stopped pouring. People noticed. Of course they noticed. When you stop being available, when you stop texting first, when you decline every invitation until the invitations stop coming, people notice. They just don't notice why. You've changed. You're so cold now. What happened to you? They say it like an accusation, like you owe them the version of yourself that was slowly dying from giving too much. They want the old you back, the one who said yes, who made time, who put everyone else first. They don't realize the old you couldn't survive. Your nervous system figured something out before your conscious mind did. It learned a pattern. Every time you let someone in, every time you trusted, every time you showed up with your whole heart, eventually you'd end up alone with the pieces. The friend who disappeared when you got depressed, the partner who left when you needed them to stay, the family who was there for holidays but nowhere when you actually needed family. Your brain started seeing the ending in the beginning. You'd meet someone new, start building a connection, and somewhere in the back of your mind, a quiet voice would ask, how long until this one leaves too? It wasn't cynicism, it was data. So you started controlling the one variable you could control, the exit. If everyone leaves eventually, you decide when. You'd cut them off before they could cut you off. Abandonment hurts less when you're the one who initiates it. At least this way, you saw it coming. People call it self-sabotage. You call it self-preservation. It's not dramatic. There's no big fight, no final confrontation where you tell them everything they did wrong. It's quieter than that. It's not answering texts for days that turn into weeks that turn into months. It's declining invitations until your absence becomes normal and they stop asking. It's moving to a new city and not telling anyone until you're already gone. It's deleting social media without an announcement, without a goodbye, without giving anyone a chance to ask you to stay. It's the slow fade, or sometimes it's the hard cut. Either way, you're gone. You run into someone you used to be close with. They ask how you've been. You say, good you? Small talk, surface pleasantries. Inside, you're thinking, we were never really friends. We just knew each other's names. We occupied the same space, but never the same world. They never saw you. You just performed a version of yourself you thought they wanted. And when that version got too tired to perform anymore, there was nothing left. The truth nobody tells you. You were already alone in rooms full of people. Being physically alone just made the feeling match the reality. Some people think you hate them. The reality is worse than that. You're indifferent. Hate requires energy, requires caring enough to hold on to the anger. You're past that. You're not running from them anymore. You're just done. They want closure. They want the conversation where you explain what happened. Wait.
Hold on, wait. Madeline. Oh, emojis.
Tell them what they did wrong, where you give them a chance to apologize or argue or fix it. But closure would require explaining yourself to people who never listened. Closure would mean reopening wounds that finally stopped bleeding. So you give them nothing. Let them write whatever story they need to write about you. You're not reading it. Here's the part that surprises you. It doesn't hurt like you thought it would. The solo holidays, the birthday that passes with no texts. The emergency where you handle it yourself because there's no one to call. You expected it to feel devastating. Instead, it just feels
Yes, this is why I switched to injection-free weight loss.
I was eating healthy, working out every day, and nothing would budge. I've lost, I think, 22 or 23 pounds at this point.
I noticed that my weight was really starting to creep up.
Oh,
Just
my
wasn't
goodness, honey,
happy with
I'm sorry. I'm completely.
Quiet became your favorite sound. This pattern didn't start in adulthood. Somewhere back in childhood, you learned that people leave or people hurt. Maybe a parent who was there physically but gone emotionally. Maybe a home where love came with conditions you could never quite meet. Maybe you were the kid who learned to handle everything alone because asking for help meant hearing, "not now," or "figure it out yourself," or worse, nothing at all. Maybe you watched a parent walk out. Maybe you experienced divorce not as a sad ending, but as proof that people don't stay, no matter what they promise. Maybe you were the child of parents who stayed but shouldn't have, who filled the house with silence or anger, teaching you that connection doesn't equal safety. Or maybe it was subtler than that. Maybe your emotional needs just weren't convenient. You'd come home from school upset about something, and the response was, "Don't be so sensitive," or "Other kids have it worse," or just a distracted, "That's nice, honey," while they scrolled their phone. You learned that your feelings were burdens, that needing emotional support was asking too much. Maybe you were the kid who stopped crying because crying made people uncomfortable, who stopped asking for help with homework because the sighs and eye rolls hurt worse than struggling alone, who learned to celebrate achievements quietly because enthusiasm annoyed people or made siblings jealous or reminded parents of their own failures. Those early experiences didn't just hurt you, they taught you. Your brain, still developing, still trying to make sense of the world, absorbed a fundamental lesson. Needing people is dangerous. Depending on someone means giving them the power to let you down. Connection equals eventual abandonment. Vulnerability gets weaponized, so your nervous system adapted. It built protective mechanisms before you even knew what you were protecting. You became independent not because you wanted to be, but because you had to be. Self-sufficient not as a choice, but as survival. You learned to need no one because needing someone meant getting hurt. You learned to expect nothing because expecting anything meant disappointment. You became the kid who didn't ask for rides, who figured things out alone, who stopped inviting friends over because "my family is complicated" was easier than explaining why home didn't feel safe. You became skilled at reading rooms, detecting moods, knowing when to make yourself small or disappear entirely. Those early relationships became your blueprint. They drew the map of what connection looks like, what love feels like, what you can expect when you let someone in. Every adult relationship that followed just confirmed the lesson. Eventually, you'll be alone. Eventually, you'll need someone, and they won't show up. Eventually, the love will run out, or come with too many conditions, or disappear when you stop being useful, or entertaining, or easy. Your brain wired itself around this truth. Connection became dangerous, trust became expensive, vulnerability became a risk you couldn't afford to take anymore. So when you cut people off, you're not being cruel. You're being consistent with everything your life has taught you about how relationships end. The accusations sting anyway. You're too closed off. You don't let people in. You're afraid of intimacy, like you haven't tried, like you haven't spent years attempting to be different, to trust differently, to believe that maybe this time it would be different. Like you haven't forced yourself to be vulnerable again and again, hoping the outcome would change. It didn't change. The friend you opened up to about your depression suddenly got busy every time you reached out. The partner who said they wanted all of you disappeared when you showed them the parts that weren't easy. The family member who promised they'd be there went silent when being there required actual effort. Same pattern, different people, identical ending. You remember the specific moments, the text you sent at 2 a.m. when you were falling apart. Read but never answered. The phone call you made asking if they could talk. Can I call you back? And they never did. The crisis where you needed someone to just sit with you, and they said, "I'm sorry you're going through this," like you were a stranger, not someone they claimed to care about. You remember showing up to their emergencies, dropping everything, canceling plans, driving across town at midnight because they needed you. Then, when you needed them, suddenly everyone had reasons. Work is crazy right now, going through my own stuff. I'm not good at this kind of thing. I don't know what to say. All valid statements that mean the same thing. You're on your own. So you stopped trying. Not because you're broken, because you finally started listening to what your nervous system has been screaming at you for years. This costs too much. The price of connection, the vulnerability, the hope, the inevitable disappointment is higher than what you're getting in return. You're spending emotional currency you don't have on people who aren't even
emotional
checking the
currency.
balance. You
Interesting.
started doing the math. How many times did you reach out first versus them? How many conversations centered their problems versus yours? How many times did you adjust your schedule, change your plans, sacrifice your needs? And how many times did they do the same? The data was devastating. You weren't in relationships. You were in performance contracts where you did all the performing. People don't understand why you choose isolation over connection. They don't see that for you. Isolation isn't the opposite of connection. It's the absence of rejection. It's the one space where you can't be abandoned because there's no one close enough to leave. It's not about hating people. It's about protecting the small part of yourself that's still capable of trust by refusing to spend it where it won't be honored. You became a detective of abandonment patterns. You can spot the signs now within the first few conversations. The friend who only texts when they need something. You see it in how they never ask how you're doing, just launch into their latest drama. The person who's present when life is good but gone when it gets hard. You notice how they're always available for fun but have 1,000 excuses when you're struggling. The relationships that feel like transactions where you're always the one paying, you feel it in your bones. That familiar weight of keeping score you wish you didn't have to keep.
Right.
You see it coming from miles away. The moment when their responses get shorter. When
How long it
I was about to take a break myself.
let's hang out soon becomes a placeholder for next. When they start every text with an apology for not responding sooner. When you become the friend, they'll definitely call when things calm down, but things never calm down. When you're always the one suggesting plans, and they're always the one who would love to, but you know the pattern of someone slowly exiting your life. It starts with longer gaps between texts. Then the texts get more surface level. Less, how are you actually doing? And more, hey, hope you're well. Then they stop responding to the real stuff. Then they stop responding at all. Then months pass. Then you're strangers who used to know each other's secrets. You've watched this pattern repeat with enough people that you stopped being surprised by it. Now you just cut it short. At the first sign, the first cancelled plan, the first distracted conversation, the first time you feel yourself trying too hard, you pull back. Not dramatically, just quietly. Stop initiating, stop trying, see if they notice. They rarely do. That tells you everything you need to know. So you leave first, not with anger, not with drama, just with the quiet knowing that you've been here before and you already know how it ends. You've seen this movie too many times to sit through it again, hoping for a different ending. Some people say you've given up on people. They're wrong. You gave up on pretending that conditional acceptance is the same as being seen. You gave up on relationships where you have to shrink or perform or earn your place. You gave up on explaining yourself to people who were never trying to understand you. They were just waiting for you to admit you're the problem. You're not the problem. The problem is that for years, you accepted crumbs and called it connection. You accepted being someone's last choice and told yourself at least you made the list. You accepted love that came with fine print and convinced yourself that's just how it works. You normalized relationships where you did all the emotional labor, all the reaching out, all the caring, and told yourself it was enough that they answered sometimes, showed up occasionally, remembered you existed when it was convenient, until one day you couldn't anymore. Cutting everyone off isn't giving up on connection. It's refusing to settle.
Like sometimes. Yes.
Because they needed you.
It's good.
Then
Stop. Oh, that was me. Okay, I was like, what are you doing? I'm trying to text Madeline at the same time. Just trying to see if she was still sick.
A hollow version you've been handed over and over again. It's saying, if this is what relationships are, if this constant one-sidedness, this endless performing, this waiting for people to show up who never do, then I'd rather have none. People call you cold. You're not cold. You're just done bleeding for people who never even noticed you were wounded. You're done performing emotional labor for relationships that only work when you're the one doing the work. You're done being the one who cares more, tries harder, stays longer, forgives faster, gives more chances. They say you've built walls. You built boundaries. There's a difference. Walls keep everyone out indiscriminately. Boundaries keep the wrong people out and give the right people, if they ever show up, a chance to matter. But after enough years of only the wrong people showing up, the boundary starts to look like a wall. Maybe it is. Maybe that's what survival looks like after you've been burned enough times. The loneliest you ever felt wasn't when you cut everyone off. It was...
Watch what
Goodness
magnesium.
gracious. Don't forget my train of thought with a commercial right there.
It was before. It was sitting in a room full of friends and feeling invisible. It was being in a relationship and still feeling fundamentally alone. It was needing help and watching people look the other way, or offer hollow platitudes that made you feel worse for asking. It was the gap between what connection was supposed to feel like and what it actually felt like. Always giving, rarely receiving, constantly performing, never quite enough. The physical isolation didn't create the loneliness. It just stopped pretending the loneliness wasn't already there. You scroll through old photos sometimes, birthdays, group trips, nights out that looked like friendship from the outside. You don't miss those people. You miss the version of yourself who still believed those connections were real, who thought if you just tried harder, cared more, gave enough, they'd finally show up for you the way you showed up for them, who hadn't yet learned that some people will take everything you offer and still act like you never gave them anything at all. That version of you almost didn't make it. She gave until there was nothing left to give.
Not she.
He poured himself into people who took and never thought to fill him back up. They nearly drowned in the emptiness of relationships that only flowed one direction. You saved yourself by leaving. People see it as running away. You know it's running toward something, toward peace, toward the kind of quiet that doesn't come from loneliness, but from finally choosing yourself. Toward a life where you're not constantly bracing for the next person to prove you're not worth staying for. Toward mornings where you don't wake up wondering which friend is going to let you down today. Maybe one day you'll try again. Maybe you'll meet someone who makes connection feel safe instead of terrifying. Maybe you'll find people who show up without you having to beg them to see you. Maybe you'll learn that not everyone leaves, not everyone takes, not everyone uses your vulnerability against you. Maybe. But right now you're protecting the part of yourself that still remembers what it felt like to hope for more. You're keeping that small flame alive by refusing to let anyone blow it out again. Because the next disappointment might be the one that extinguishes it completely, and then you'd have nothing left, not even the possibility of trying again. Cutting everyone off isn't the absence of love. It's the presence of self-preservation. It's your nervous system finally saying enough. Enough performing, enough pretending, enough accepting less than you deserve and calling it connection. Enough breaking yourself into smaller pieces so you'll fit into spaces that were never meant for you. You're not cold, you're not broken, you're not the villain in their stories, no matter what they say about you, when you're not there to defend yourself. You're not the problem they made you believe you were. Every time a relationship failed and they pointed to all the ways you were too much or not enough. You're just someone who learned the hard way that being alone is less lonely than being unseen in a crowd. Someone who chose quiet over chaos. Someone who finally stopped waiting for people to show up and started showing up for yourself. They'll say you cut everyone off like it's a character flaw, like you're missing out, like you're running from something, like if you just gave people more chances, tried harder, were more forgiving, were less sensitive, things would be different. Let them say it. You know the truth. You gave chances, you tried, you forgave more than most people would. You were sensitive because you actually paid attention, because you actually cared, because you actually showed up. You did everything they said you should do, and it still wasn't enough. The problem wasn't your effort, it was that you were giving it to people who never intended to match it. You're not running from anything, you're standing still, finally, in a space where no one can leave you because you're the only one there. Where your worth isn't determined by who stays or who goes. Where the silence isn't empty, it's full of the peace you never had when you were surrounded by people who never really saw you at all. This is the psychology of cutting everyone off. It's not about hating people. It's about loving yourself enough to stop accepting crumbs and calling it a feast. It's about recognizing that sometimes the bravest thing you can do isn't staying and trying harder. It's leaving and finally putting yourself first. You're not cold, you're clear. You're not closed off, you're protected. You're not giving up on connection. You're refusing to accept the broken version of it that's been offered to you over and over again. Maybe that makes you hard to understand. Maybe it makes you someone people whisper about, someone they use as a cautionary tale about what happens when you build walls, when you stop trying, when you give up on people, but you know something they don't. Those walls are keeping you alive. That protection is what's allowing you to heal. That choice to walk away is what's finally giving you the space to become someone who might, one day, be ready to try again, but only on terms that honor who you are, not who people want you to be. For now, you're here, in the quiet, in the space you cleared by cutting away everything that was slowly killing you. It's not the ending people wanted for you, but it's the one that's keeping you whole. You're not cold, you're surviving, and maybe, for the first time in your life, you're finally free.
Let my spirit just receive that. I think it was like Tuesday. I had got off of live. And I was in the bed and I was laying down. I was trying to go to sleep. And then I got to scrolling. I got to scrolling on YouTube. And this video had came across my algorithm. Child, the graphics, honey, and there was captions. I don't know what font that was, but child, I'm talking about the graphics was amazing. And that font had me just reading. I was glued in. But I had saw that. And I had got like 2 minutes in. And I was like, nope, I'm going to save you for later. I need a live reaction for that one. Oh, that spoke to my spirit. Oh, my goodness. That totally spoke to my spirit. I need some music now. Because I'm about to get ready to close. Look, in closing. Hold on. Let me see. What was this? On the come back in. For my benediction. Child, that's for the people in the back. They be trying to figure out, you know, why I move the way I move and why I act the way I act and why I am the way I am now. You know, this version of me now versus the version that people like used to thought they used to know. Child, listen, I just blocked somebody, mama, what was that, yesterday? Yesterday. Ooh, my goodness. I'm like, honey, listen, I ain't taking nobody into 2026. I'm not taking nobody into 2026. Okay? All that pouring into cups. All that access. I think that that's something that I learned too. That access. Allowing people to have access to me. Those days are completely over with. I can for sure confirm that those days are completely over with. But you know, Nicki Minaj, during her speech at AmFest, she has stated that it's okay to change your mind. It's okay to change your mind. And we wanted to highlight that because we had to put the theory to the test. You know, oh, let me see what'll happen if I change my mind. Let me, you know what I mean? And of course, you know, we live in a world where people don't allow you, don't condone you to change your mind. And so, you know, because I be playing my games, I had to put that theory to the test because I'm like, okay, speak to my spirit and let me see what I need to do. Because I'm, child, listen. So sensitive. So sensitive. I'm so sensitive. Extremely sensitive. That I can confirm. I'm a very extremely sensitive person. And this particular video that we just finished watching sums it up perfectly. Sums it up perfectly. And then, of course, when you decide to engage in something like live streaming. Now, the reason why I have subscriber mode on is because that at least create a boundary as far as like people just jumping into your live and just talking crazy. Just jumping into your live and just saying anything, first thing that comes to mind. Don't do that. Don't do that because you don't know me. I don't know you. We don't know each other. And even if we do know each other, it's probably, you know, you probably used to know what he said, the previous version of myself. And so I always put the subscriber mode on. An incentive, you know, at least subscribe before you come in and say something to me. But I didn't used to have my chat open and available because I'm sensitive. And people will come in here and they'll, you know, disrupt your spirit because they think that, you know, I'm just going to say whatever. It just doesn't work like that. Not in the real world. But when it comes to social media, obviously live streaming isn't something that I'm new to. This isn't new at all. Like I said, we used to be on YouTube when you could just cut it on and go. So we didn't been around the block ever since they had added that little incentive of having 1,000 subscribers. And I don't know when they changed it as far as, oh, you only need 50 to go live on your mobile device. And then you can just go live on your desktop or your laptop with any subscribers or less than 50. I don't know when that happened, but I literally just found that out back in October, September. I think it was October. We were doing Vlogtober. I was like, wow. So, but we used to live stream. We was over there on X. We was live streaming on X last year. We was live streaming on Tag, BLK, Facebook, Bigo Live. We didn't been around the block. Don't get it twisted now. We didn't been around. Got this commercial threw me off. And so now we over here on and listen, you know it's gonna be once word get around that I done started going live, you know, you're gonna start to see people react. Oh, I remember shh. But anyway, I just wanted to feed my spirit with that word, because it definitely sums it up perfectly. I mean, just perfectly. And when you get to that point, it almost becomes anticipated because you always gotta have an exit strategy. You always gotta have an exit strategy. And when you get over 35, we'll put it that way because I just turned 35 in October. But when you get over 35, zero patience. Only for the kids. Other than that, no thank you. I'll pass. I'll pass. Just because I like to preserve my patience, but most importantly, I like to preserve my sanity. Like, as you can see, I have to find stuff to do when I go live. And just to be clear, like I'm talking to you, but remember, I'm live streaming on 2 different channels right now. Not only just 2 different devices, I'm on 2 different channels. So this channel right here, Diary of QLM. This channel right here is Mrs. Dr. Mind Games. So I'm on my mobile device and I'm also on my laptop. And we used to do Twitch. And so, well, you know, you got to throw them in there. And, you know, once I maybe get an extra device or 2, I might be able to, you know, get back on X. See what I mean? You got to be able to, like, share the love as far as the live streaming and stuff like that, you know, because one thing that I love about YouTube, she gonna be here when you gone. And that's the first place people go. Ooh, let me see what she was talking about on her YouTube channel. And so, and then of course, because I have to compartmentalize, you know, you have to like make separate YouTube channels for certain stuff. And so this is my diary channel where I just come on here and I talk and I do whatever I want to do. And when I get a little bit more organized, I'll have different channels for, you know, other things, specific things. But in the meantime, in between time, I'm going to wrap it up. I'm going on about 2 hours now. But is that my guy? Y'all, I ain't seen Vision in a minute. Let me see. Oh, that's not Vision. Oh, that's somebody else. Oh, okay. Okay. So he got like one of those little one of those courses over there on Mind Valley. Jeffrey Allen. Look at Vision. I just said that. I was like, where is Vision? But let me get on about here. But in the meantime, listen, in between time, I'm going to go. Oh, look at the thumbs up on the thumbs up. Oh, my Jesus. You guys make me so proud. You guys make me so proud. 18 thumbs up. Wow. Wow. Can you believe we got 18 thumbs up today? Oh my Jesus. You guys have made me so proud. But in the meantime, in between time, love you. Bye.